Okay. Okay, so question about the role of medicine. Okay, so first of all, we need to say medicine can mean many different things. Okay, so anything to restore well being in our interpretation can be called medicine. So you see, in ancient times, medicine was not pills that you popped in your mouth in order to take away symptoms, you see. In ancient times, we'll say ancient times, then medicine was change of behavior, change of mind, change of environment, change of foods, change of all of things when necessary to create centered well-being. So you see, concept of medicine has changed a lot over the years, shall we say. And what you have today is an idea that says what medicine is, and that medicine is a pill, for example, or obviously can be medicine that you take into your body to reduce symptoms of something that is causing you to feel a lack of well-being. So first, we would like to discuss the concept of medicine as a pill that you take for the symptom, because this is the first thing that we need to establish. So in modern times today, you see, this is what we mean by medicine. So medicine in this form, you feel a lack of well-being, let's say. I like this word, lack of well-being, you see, because that's all sickness is, you see. You are away from the centered well-being that is rightfully yours. So when you are away from well-being, you have to establish what has taken you away from that well-being. Well, you see, I'll say Western medicine, let's call it Western medicine because that's what most people understand. The idea of takes care of symptoms, you see, and says, okay, so you are feeling headache, okay, you are feeling sick, okay, you have a rash, okay, you are X, Y, or Z. Here is prescription. Go to the chemist, get the pill, get the medicine, get the lotion, take care of the symptom, and you are fine. Well, obviously, this is not well-being. This is taking care of the symptom. Now, we don't have a problem with taking care of symptoms, you see, because the symptom is the sign that you are away from well-being. So once you have acknowledged the sign, you don't need to keep the sign. If you wish to take care of the symptom in a Western way, that's your choice. It's not the best choice, may we say, but it's your choice nonetheless. And you can deal with the symptom as well as deal with the problem, the underlying cause of the lack of well-being. This is okay. If this is your approach, then we say, okay, this can continue. But you see, people don't. What they do is they say, I feel sick. They say, I have a cold. They have a headache. They have a backache. And they go and get the painkiller, or they go and get the prescription, or they get the drug for this, for that, for this, for that. And they ignore the fact that that these are signs to a lack of well-being. If you take care of the well-being, of course, the signs will go, because the signs are only necessary to show you that something has taken you away from your centered place of well-being. So we prefer an approach that says, okay, let's deal with what has caused you to be separate from well-being before you worry about taking care of symptoms. Now, if symptoms are severe, you have option in the world that you live in today to take care of some of the symptoms. I don't see this as a problem. You see, some will call them alternative health practitioners, and I don't really want to say alternative. Health is health is health is health. How you get there is how you get there. But let's call them alternative as opposed to Western. And alternative would say, actually, this is suppressing the disease or something because you are taking care of the symptom. I don't think that works that way, because at the end of the day, if you're taking care of the reason, underlying reason that has taken you away from well-being, you will recover and get back to your sense of well-being, regardless of whether you have taken something to suppress some of the symptoms. So what we feel is that, there is some advantages to living in the world that you have today to the world of hundreds, if not longer, much longer, years ago. Because you see, it's difficult to say sometimes, because people on an awareness, a journey, understand that there need to be no pain. There needs to be no lack of well-being. But the reality is, for most people are not living in that world yet. And we'll get to that. But they're living in a world where they can be aware of the signs that say, I am away from my well-being. What's caused this? Let's take care of this. But they also want to take care of the symptoms that are causing them distress in the moment that they are living. And we really do not see a problem with this, so long as they are taking care of the underlying problem that has taken them away from their sense of well-being. So the question says, what role does medicine play in a changing world? Well, the key to this question is a changing world, not the changed world. For example, the new era that will come. That's not the same. The changing world in which you are living, we would say this: medicine can have a strong role if it chooses to. Right now, it's not choosing to, because it's ignoring all the evidence that is coming to say that Western medicine is not the solution for everything. And it's ignoring this, you see. It's ignoring the fact that they don't have the answers for everything. If they could stand in a place of saying, we don't know the answers to everything, they'd be in a much stronger place to move forward. But Western medicine, you see, has established itself as a place of knowing of health and the body and the systems, and it's actually not. It's awareness and it's knowledge, because it refuses to see outside of itself. It is limiting its own perspective of what it could be, conversely. So what we say is this: the role of medicine in a changing world could be extreme, because most people in today's world want to take care of symptoms, and we don't see a problem with this. Why live in pain if you don't have to? Now, is there another way? Of course, of course. Understand this: popping a pill is never the answer. It's never the answer to your problem. But it might make you feel better today in order to be able to cope with what is the answer tomorrow. And we see no problem with this. So what we say is, if you are feeling illness, sickness of any kind, mental, physical, emotional, spiritual, then always understand that there is a reason that you have been taken away from your centered place of well-being. Working to understand what that is, why it has taken you away, and how you can get back to that centered place of well-being is the key to living in health and well-being. Understanding that everything you experience and manifest in the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, and the spiritual body, everything that arises there for you is a sign to show you that you have drifted away from your well-being. If you can recognize the sign and you are willing to do the work to get back to your well-being, then take care of the symptoms in any way that works for you. Western medicine, alternative medicine, anything that works for you. Because why stay with the symptom if you don't have to? Now, what we would say is that Western medicine has placed far too much of its confidence in the drug industry, and it is an industry, and make no bones about it, it is an industry first and foremost. anyone that thinks that the people that are producing the drugs are in it for their health are gravely mistaken. I do not say that all people working in Western medicine are not there for their health. That would be a gross misjudgment. Most people, conversely, that are in the Western health system are there precisely because they wish to help with health. Whatever you may feel about what they're doing, they are there for the right reasons, most of them. But the drug industry is the drug industry, and it's there to make money. That's a fact. So they have put far too much confidence in the drug industry in the assumption that there can always be a pill to remedy every situation. They know that this is not true. They 100% already know that this is not true. There cannot be a pill to resolve every problem. They know this, and yet they still continue down that path. They still continue to put all their resources, all of their energies into the one path of find the pill to fix the problem. They already know that this is not the path, and yet they continue to do that. Why do they do that? As we just said, it's an industry. If the reality was that you needed to change your behaviors, or you needed to change your environment, or you needed to change your lifestyle, or your friends, or your family, or your emotional state, or you just needed to breathe more fresh air, or you just needed to drink more water, where's the money? Now, people say, oh, Spirit, getting cynical. No, we're not. We're being truthful. This is all we are. There are so many well-meaning people involved in Western medicine that to discount Western medicine, as many alternative health practitioners have done, is not fair. It's done a lot of good. It's done a lot of purpose. It continues to do so, and it can continue to do so for so many people. But it would be completely irresponsible to deny that amongst the masses of well-meaning people in the Western medicine profession, that there are huge industries that are all about money. And the most important one is the drug industry. So here's what we say about this. You can take a pill to heal the symptoms of what it is that you are experiencing, and there is no problem. If that's where you're at, we would rather you took the pill and got yourself back to feeling better in order to cope with the changes that you obviously need to make to restore your well-being, than to refuse the pill, struggle on, getting more and more deficient in the strength that you need in order to create the changes that get you back to well-being. So if that is your path for now, and that is where you are at, we say embrace it, but don't ignore the fundamental truth that the symptoms are only a sign to that you have stepped away from your well-being. And you will need to find a way to step back, because if you take care of one symptom, we promise you this, if you don't get back to well-being, another symptom will come, and another symptom will come, and another symptom will come. Because it's always the way. Your body is always showing you that it is not in a place of well-being. So until you come back to a place of well-being, you will continue to reveal more and more signs that you are not in a place of well-being. So if your place on your journey of health and acceptance of belief of what is possible says that you need the pill in order to feel better, in order to create the changes you need to create to get back to well-being, do it. But of course, there is a higher perspective on this. And the reality is that you cannot underestimate the role of belief. Belief is actually all that there is in terms of what works and what doesn't work for any individual at any given time in relieving the symptoms. Your mind 1,000,000% is controlling what works and what doesn't work with the symptom. If your belief is in the pill, you take the pill, the symptoms go. If your belief is in the herb, you take the herb, the symptoms go. If your belief is in the exercise, you do the exercise, the symptoms go. If your belief is in the water, you drink the water, the symptoms go. You need to know, therefore, what your belief is, first and foremost, when it comes to different kinds and different forms of medicine, using the word medicine in the broader sense of whatever it takes to get you back to well-being. So if you have a belief in an alternative form of health, that it works because you've tried it before and you know it works, stick with it. Get back to well-being first before you worry about creating deeper beliefs. At the end of the day, if you all believed that you could cure your symptoms of disease immediately, you would. This is fact. Your mind is the powerhouse when it comes to the symptoms. Your mind tells the body what to do. When your mind is in control, when your mind is as the fundamental power to switch on and switch off any symptom that your body is emitting right now. So if you could get the belief that that's all it takes is to control the brain, to control the body, you could switch it off immediately. We would be foolish to say that this is where most people are at right now. There are very few, there are some, but there are very few who have that level of control of their mind, belief in the power of their mind, and able to utilize that skill in order to create a physical change. So we say, do what you need to do to create the belief, to change the mind, to order the body to release the symptoms, if that makes sense. And in that respect, whatever works, works. So we are not going to judge conventional medicine, Western medicine, in any harsher light than we will judge alternative health, so-called. Because at the end of the day, if you are alleviating symptoms because your belief is in them, this is what we wish to see. Relieve the symptoms to enable you to find a stronger place in order to create the changes you need to create to get back to a sense of well-being within. And this is where we'll just talk about the concept of medicine in a broader scale. When you are experiencing a lack of ease, disease, sickness, whatever you wish to call it, whenever you are experiencing the symptoms of this, stop in the first instance and say, okay, this is a sign. This is a sign that there is something that has taken me from my place of well-being. That's where I need to put my attention and my focus. I need to discover what. Is it a relationship? Is it my work? Is it my experiences? Is it my emotional health? Is it my past? Is it my whatever it is? I need to work out what it is that has created this withdrawal from well-being. And I need to be willing to fix it. I need to be willing to do what's necessary to get back to well-being if I wish to maintain and create health in my life. Once you have understood that premise, you see, you will find that your form of medicine will vary widely. Because actually, you can see in this situation, moving your location to one that speaks to your heart is now medicine. Taking a different form of exercise that nurtures and supports the systems of your body is now medicine. Dancing, singing is now medicine. Drawing, creativity is now medicine. Laughing is now medicine. Playing with your children is now medicine. Watching animals play is now medicine. Enjoying the breath of the air on your face is now medicine. Swimming in the ocean is now medicine. So when you have that broader perspective of what medicine truly is, you look at the life you're leading, not the pills you are taking. And that is where you will find the centered place of well-being that will keep you healthy. For in that space, you will not need the symptoms to show you that there is a problem before there is no one. Now, the questioner also asked about, well, they said in the changing world, and we specifically agreed in the changing world. Let's just touch briefly, because I know this interests a lot of people. In the new era, which is not now, we are transitioning, we are not there. You will not be there for some time. In the new era, you see, you will have the mental capacity to control your body. You will not be with sickness because it will not exist in the new era. It's fact. So the questioner asked specifically about the changing world, and we hope we have answered this, for it is specifically to the transitioning world that our answer applies. The new era, when it comes, when you are there, will not require you to manufacture belief, because you will already have inherent control with all that you are doing, with all that you are being at all times. So let's stay focused on the transitioning world. This is the world you are all living in. This is the world that has to make sense for you for now. And we hope we have answered your question. With love.